Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, bringing guys a Call of Duty Modern Warfare gameplay commentary. What you guys are going to be watching in the background is an 83-1, just using the Growl 5.56. This was a class setup that my friend gave me for Warzone. I was just going to try it out whenever I was playing some Warzone with him and stuff like that. But I wanted to try it out in multiplayer first, just because I really like to test out Warzone classes in Ground War, and the reason I recommend that you guys do this if you play Warzone as well. Personally, I'm never going to upload any Warzone gameplay just because I know that there is a crowd that wants to see multiplayer, and their favorite YouTubers and whatnot are just strictly uploading Warzone now because of views and money, and I don't want to be that kind of person. I know I could probably grow way faster if I upload Warzone gameplay, but I don't want to because I know there's a crowd out there like me that absolutely loves the multiplayer and wants to watch the multiplayer, so keep that in mind. Anyways, so in this gameplay, I'm using this setup, and I believe it is the Archangel Barrel, the Monolithic Suppressor, the Commando foregrip, 60-round magazine, and the TAC laser. And this is actually a very good setup. I tried it out even in Warzone. It absolutely shreds. And I really think the Growl is definitely a gun that's in need of a nerf. I think it's about time that Infinity Ward gives it that kind of nerf. But there's a few things I wanted to say real quick about Modern Warfare. I just wanted to talk about, and I want to get your guys' opinion. Do you feel they need to do something with the doors? Because in my opinion, like, double doors, whenever you're trying to close them or open them, like, sometimes you close one, you'll be looking at the other, and that one opens or closes, and it just makes you have to sit there and play with the doors for like a long time. And honestly, I mean, I wish the doors weren't in the game. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, remove the doors. Well, yeah, I mean, most of us probably don't like the doors, but Infinity Ward likes the doors, so what can we say, right? So I think they just need to do something like maybe make a threshold of where you're looking or something, you know, and if one's already closed, maybe make some kind of logic, unless you're like aiming at it or something. It's not just gonna, I don't know, they got to do something with these double doors, and whenever it comes to closing them, because whenever you're in the heat of the moment, it can really make or break, save your life, whatnot, all that other kind of stuff. But yeah, so this match is just a 83 KD on Karst River Quarry. This is on controller. I actually bought a second account that basically I'm trying to learn keyboard and mouse. I started off getting dookied on, and then I actually started doing some pretty good stuff with the keyboard and mouse, but I don't think I'm going to upload that or anything like uploading gameplay from keyboard and mouse, simply because I just want to use that account just when I want to play this game casually, just sit back, relax, run low streaks, and just play the objective, or just, you know, level up and unlock stuff again. I think that's how I'm going to use that account, you know, not really go try hard. If I get dumpstered on that account, I don't really care, whatnot, because after all, like I said, I just want to use the account to play the game casually and, you know, not try to get any gameplays or anything like that on it. Just relax, chill, enjoy myself, and I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. So, you know, for me, keyboard and mouse is actually more casual, simply because I don't have the muscle memory built up over years and years of practice, whereas when I play on controller, you know, I have 13 years of muscle memory built up, and yeah, that's just why I want to say that. But anyways, I decided not to cut down any of this gameplay because I want to talk to you guys about my tactics here on Karst River Quarry. So as you guys saw, I went straight from whenever we spawned on A side, I took the vehicle straight up to that building at D, and D is a perfect flag to bring a vehicle to right off the rip. And the reason I say that is because whenever you get to D, a lot of enemies are just capping E, just coming to E, and you can basically take them off by surprise or not to be expecting you there. If you get there before the tanks, even better, and then you can do some serious work, get some kill streaks and all that kind of stuff, and start getting an edge for your team, and I absolutely love that. Right here I'm pushing E, and the reason why is originally I just wanted to die so I can earn more kill streaks, but I end up going on a decent streak. And there is one thing I want to point out, is I have to rotate out of here, right? There's a tank on me now. I'm going to have to rotate out. I believe I take that ATV there to the building that I'm looking at right there to my left. And don't go to this building, alright? Do not go to this building ever. And I'm going to tell you guys, I have died off 3 tactical nukes in one day because of this building, alright? What happens is it becomes a slow game of like cat and mouse type gameplay whenever you're in this building, and generally people catch on you're here, and if they can't kill you, they're gonna switch to snipers and sit in their spawn, and then they're gonna try to attack you from their spawn, and it basically just becomes so awkward, and you guys are going to see that whenever I'm sitting here in this building, what I'm doing basically, because they have the E flag, you know, I'm looking for some picks, easy picks, whatnot, trying to get some free and easy kills, but the problem is whenever I'm sitting up here, right, if they're spawning in at E, they could be spawning in that building, they could be spawning in at cover. There's not a lot of good angles you get, and if you want to go outside of this building, you're going to be exposing yourself to the people that are spawning in the HQ, right? Now, the main thing that made this really unfortunate for me and why I couldn't clutch up here is simply because the enemies start capping other flags and, you know, they start spawning away from here. Right here, what I'm doing is I'm aiming at the wall. Go ahead, call me camper, I don't care. But what I'm doing is I'm sitting there aiming at the wall because I have that green laser on and I'm trying to stay concealed so that way the guy does not know I'm peeking at him. It's just a little bit of, you know, a little thought process there going through my mind, trying to outplay an enemy, making him think that I'm not looking at him, but, you know, I could shine the green laser real quick in the room, turn away, make it go onto the wall, and then snap back onto him. It's just a little tactic you guys can use if you have some pretty good aim and snap accuracy and all that other kind of stuff. I wasn't using dead silence in this gameplay, so whenever I'm, you know, in this building, I can't just be freely running around the building, because if somebody's trying to hunt me down and get me off my nuke streak, you know, I gotta make sure I'm not gonna be dying, and that's exactly what I'm doing here, listening for sound, trying to play it safe. Again, right here is really dangerous. There's a lot of windows from that building. If people are on top of that building, they could be sniping at me. If I go out here to take a few peeks, people could be in other buildings trying to get a snipe on me. I get a nice little snipe on this guy. I think I go on like a 28 gun streak or something while in this building, or maybe I was even on a 29. I can't remember. I might have died one off, but as you guys can see, this is what you want to do, like, you know, is just avoid this building, really, because this is what's going to happen, right? Mistake I made was probably killing that sniper, because now he knows I'm here, and he is going to want his sweet revenge, let me tell you. So, yeah, killing the spawn snipers is probably not the greatest thing in the world, but hey, it is what it is. Also, I should have probably stuck with my growl, because generally I find whenever you're using something like an HDR or an AX50 and you're trying to snipe these people off their spawn, you don't have a lot of strafe speed, and this is something in Modern Warfare that's just a big issue in general, and why the gunplay, it feels really good, but sometimes the gunfights just feel so awkward, and other times you just feel like, I have better aim than this guy. How's he killing me so easy? You know, stuff like that you might be thinking in your mind. And the reason is because you're kind of a sitting duck when you're standing there aiming at someone. There's like no strafe speed to guns in this game, and you can use no stock. You can use the attachment that's going to make you strafe a little bit faster, but that's not really going to help you much. As you can see right there, I got lucky and survived it. I got a blessing in disguise. You know, people were like, hey, or I mean, Infinity Ward's like, hey, I'm giving you another chance, but I fuck it up anyways. But so yeah, the main problem is, like, whenever you're trying to gunfight people, you don't have that strafe speed, right? And it makes you such an easy target to be killed, and especially with the lightning fast time to kill in this game. You know, I was really thinking about it. Whenever you have this complex map design, ADS speed is a little bit more important than strafe speed, right? Like, strafe speed was a lot more important in a game like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. The reason why is the map design is three strict lanes. You know where everyone's going to be. It's all about strafing, aim, and not so much about intellectual skill or anything like that. You can't really outplay people on those maps because you know exactly where they're going to be, where they're going to go. But complex maps like this game has, you can outplay people a lot better, and the thing is like, it's more about ADS time, but whenever you're trying to play aggressive, and that's the thing, is a lot of Call of Duty players like to be aggressive. They don't just want to sit in a building all game or, you know, try to snipe. And honestly, you know, I do that whenever I'm not going for high scores because it's fun. I get that. But whenever you want to go for high scores, you can't be super aggressive in this game because the time to kill doesn't permit it, and neither does some of, you know, like low strafe speed, and how if you want to increase your ADS speed, you're going to lose so much recoil control, and there's so much room in between cover on these ground war maps especially, that the close quarters attachments don't even really work. So ground war, in my opinion, if you're building your class for, you know, strafe speed, ADS speed, all that kind of stuff, you're doing it wrong, right? Because there's so many areas that you could be going on these maps, and you can just pick people off like I'm doing right now. If you want to rush on these maps, you're exposing yourself to so many angles, you're just going to be killed from someone sitting in a window with a sniper or something. So, or like me, sitting in a window with a growl. But anyways, you guys understand what I'm saying. these buildings right here between D and E, whenever the enemies have E or, you know, they're in their HQ, they're really strong power positions to be in, and this game rewards people that are playing in power positions. And the reason I say that, and I honestly believe that, is because, well, one, Infinity Ward stated it, but also because, like I said, the low strafe speed, the low, you know, you gotta sacrifice your recoil controls, all this other kind of stuff for ADS speed. The game wants you to play slower. The game is trying to nerf sweaty tryhards that rush around, all that other kind of stuff. So you want to build your classes in this for longer range, and you also want to maneuver the map in a way that it's not going to screw you over whenever you're trying to run around or, you know, move from cover to cover. Since you have these longer ranged weapons, you build them that way so you have better recoil at range, because most of the gunfights happen in farther range in ground war. But you also don't want to be too slow, because if you get caught off guard and someone comes around the corner, maybe, you know, you have a regular UAV up and the guy has ghosts and he just comes around the corner and takes you from surprise. If you can't ADS in time, or if you can't strafe out of their bullets, you're pretty much dead. So basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of ways that you gotta tailor your create a class system for a good balance, but in ground war you also really just gotta focus on the range, and that's something I feel like a lot of people make mistakes on. But as for this map, Karst River Quarry I find is a much longer ranged map, because if you look, here's the thing, right? If the enemies have B, C, or D, you can run with an SMG, you can use a close quarters build for your rifle, submachine gun, whatever. You can do that because the buildings are close quarters. You're going to want that strafe speed, you're going to want that ADS speed and all that kind of stuff. The problem is if you see this gameplay right in front of you, we have B, C, and D. Well, not D anymore, but we had those flags, right? Which that means that they are all going to be spawning at either A, E, or their headquarters. And if you look at how the map's laid out, there is so much open space between A, E, and the headquarters that if you even want to try to push, you're going to die. So if you built your M4 or your Grau or your MP5 or whatever gun you're using, and you build that gun for close quarters combat, whenever your teammates hop on B, C, or D, and they cap them and then they hold them down, tell me how you're gonna win gunfights if people are that far away, you know? So that's why I'm saying, like, whenever you're building your class, you gotta have that perfect balance, because you're gonna just get sniped, you're gonna get beamed by somebody that had their class built for that way. So I see this all the time. I pick up people's guns, you know, and they're using an M4A1, let's say this one. I saw this, it was a recommended class by some, like, news outlet or whatever, back whenever the game first launched. And I still see this class all the time, so it actually baffles me that people get their creative classes from a news outlet that's basically just giving, they don't even, like, they barely play the game and they're just giving out something to it so they make a little bit of money when people click the article, right? This class setup is like the 11.5-inch commando barrel, right, which severely hurts your recoil. It gives you a little bit more movement speed and ADS speed. They recommend the M16 stock, which, okay, I understand why, because you're going to have more aiming stability, makes first shot accuracy a lot better, and controlling recoil easier because you have a stable picture. Makes sense. They have the granulated grip tape. You don't need that because you just put the M16 stock on. All you're doing now is just making yourself more of a sitting duck, because you lose your aim walking movement speed even more now. And on top of that, they have, like, the Viper reflex sight, or it might be the flip hybrid. Why would you ever want to use that when you're losing recoil control, you know? And then it's like, what's the other attachments? There's like a couple more on it, or one more. I think it's like a suppressor or something, like a lightweight suppressor, which makes you lose even more recoil control. Or maybe it's a compensator or muzzle brake. I can't remember. But you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, these setups are not good for ground war, and they just don't make sense. And I see people using this all the time, and it just baffles me. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys thought of my tips and stuff, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.